Welcome to Rhinos and Aliens. Asian foot binding. We mentioned this on a previous episode, but it was strictly sexually based. But I wanted to get into the nitty gritties of it. Okay, so this situation, this art, this religion, whatever you want to call it, can be dated all the way back to at least the 13th century, where women started to wear what is called a lotus shoe. However, the inspiration arose from a 10th century Chinese court dancer. The combination of her beauty and her unusually thick frame resulted in foot binding becoming a trend for the social elite. Dating back to a previous episode, yes, foot binding has a sexual connotation, and it always has from the start, due to women in certain professions having smaller feet. This is due to the practice where so much pressure is put onto the thighs and the buttocks muscles, making them much larger than the average female. The interesting fact that most desired foot size for these women are 3 inches. Let that shit sink in. This type of foot is called the golden lotus. 4 inches was acceptable, which is called the silver lotus, but anything over 5 inches was looked down upon, and it's been given numerous names of undesirable steels and metals. Now, normally for this practice to be successful, particularly to achieve the golden lotus, these women had to start no later than the age of 6. In order for this process to be successful, every toe besides the big toe had to be broken.
That's
and
disgusting.
Normally, the arch of the foot was also broken. Plus, the heel and the sole needed to be crushed together in order to form a triangle-shaped foot/feet.
They're trying to fit a fucking foot into a fucking Altoid can. Basically, you said 3 inches, right? It's
Yes.
a fucking Altoid can.
Yes, I did. Oh, by the way, this process lasted for at least 3 full years where they went over steps of breaking the toes and binding the feet every month to
All
make
right,
sure.
You know what? A whole bunch of shit just started flooding to me. At first, I was just saying, like, because I remember when I originally heard this, I thought they just tighten, like, put them in tight shoes. You've been poor before. You had to wear some shoes that was too tight.
That's what I thought.
To restrict the feet that much, right? To fuck her looking cute, how is she walk? Like, you can't even walk with a bunion on one of your toes. They done fucking smashed your heel into your arch and got your toes curled the fuck up, and
Yeah, that.
they're in pain. They are in pain. I know they're in pain, correct? They're in pain, right?
Yes.
Okay, and how are they even... Wait a minute.
Brains.
You know what I want to see now? I want to see, because they had to be a pattern or a walking pattern or something that you could see as a male that, oh, wow, she's binding her feet. They had to have some kind of walk back then.
Yes, it had to do with their hip butt movement. That's why when I first mentioned it on a previous episode, it was sexually based.
So when they had these little, like, tiny feet, did it, like, make them...
Well, have you ever seen the stereotypical animation of a Chinese woman where they have that, they take small steps and they have the wobble?
Yeah.
That's foot binding.
So when they do that, okay, that's what I was looking for. I needed that visual.
Yep.
Oh, that's
When I walk
disturbing.
in heels, I notice
So they wanted him. So
I'm going to get to that.
did they bind the feet because they wanted the walk?
That's the rest of the article. Or the rest of what I got from articles.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, but before I continue, I just want to discuss the first photo is showing a side view of what a typical binding looks like. Mm-hmm. So, Damien, you're just going to have to look on X's phone because
I'm sorry, I broke my phone the other day.
So that's what an Asian...
It looks like a heel. I mean, like a...
No, are
house shoe,
those
or-
the other toes folded under the other toe? Wait a minute. Are those the toes from the other side though?
Yeah.
I don't.
What do you mean? Look.
Well, in this picture, I can't tell.
Your answer is yes.
Yeah.
Those are the four toes.
I was thinking maybe that was her toes, or maybe that was like the binding, like the wrap,
It's
like,
like
cutting into her foot or
they took
something.
her
I don't know.
feet
And folded
and
it.
they folded
Literally
them
folded it.
to the
Oh,
point.
yeah, you
I
can see
can't
their
even
toe-
do that with my hand.
Yeah, you can see her toenails here.
Yeah. Now, if you
She's walking on her toes.
yeah. Now, if you go to the second photo of this old woman, she has not had her at least supposedly to this article, she has not had her feet binded for decades, and that's what her feet still look like because of what she did when she was younger. This is the aftermath.
So she's been walking. Oh my god.
She's been walking on her pinky toe.
But just think about it. The body is very adaptable, but that process is so damaging that after decades of not
Her
doing
pinky
it.
toe was under her foot for life. She's walking on her pinky toe. Like, I don't.
But as you can see from those photos, it's a very triangle shaped.
That walk must have been like the walk of pain. It wasn't.
Well, I'm going to get into that too.
Man, I really think I'd lose my erection if I was sitting back there and then like a thing said like I got two and then I was like boom, boom, and then this one said bloop in like a corner, like you
I
could
would-
see like a oblong shape, and you're sitting there, you're like,
Oh, you could just see the flat part, like a
or
piece
the
get flat or something.
yeah.
You guys know.
You gotta poke it
I
to
don't-
push it back.
I couldn't.
I'm like, yeah.
I
Yeah.
You guys know how much I hate flat ass. I would rather fuck a flat ass in that situation.
yeah.
Smart, man. Because it's more
Yeah.
natural.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Well,
Yeah.
it's not only more natural. At least I know it's going to be a consistent fuck with that. One
one hard thrust and that drink.
bloop. If it feels like an alien is going to pop out your ass, we have a problem.
No,
You gonna get that, girl?
no.
You gonna get that?
Nah, I'm good with my little booty. I just keep toning and shaping and working out like I've been
Good
doing for
girl.
these couple months.
Good.
You know
Good.
what I'm saying? I'm gonna-
Good. And a man will respect you so much more for that. You took the hard way.
Listen, my butt is small. I ain't gonna hold you, but it's high. Especially when, you know.
Okay, so to continue after this hiatus, foot binding over time went from a fashionable impulse to an ethnic pride. In many ways, foot binding became just as much a national identity as its well-known religion, Confucianism. In fact, it became another way to adhere to this religion, which specifically placing extra emphasis on chastity, obedience, and diligence.
Oh, my mama.
Foot binding was entwined in Chinese culture for an entire millennium, that's 1,000 years, simply due to women directing their resources toward achieving a 3-inch version of physical perfection. Even though, scientifically speaking, and it's now been proven to some degree, this has led to lower bone density in both the hips and lower spines over the long haul. And even though Chinese women from this period were not known for having major injuries when they got older, it's not because of foot binding, it's because they purposefully did not get busy or stay active, so they could injure themselves. So if we're looking at historical data where stuff can be misconstrued, Americans in Western culture, older women had a lot more injuries than Asian culture, especially China. But it's only because normally Western culture women stayed more active, so they were put in more situations to get injured.
I couldn't imagine binding my foot.
But the very few women who are still around from this time period, their bone density is completely destroyed if they participated in this for any significant amount of time.
I feel like a lot of Asian women have tiny feet too.
I got something else.
What's up?
We did the same exact thing. We just
Go on.
did it real subtle with high heels, and y'all love them, and they make y'all walk.
Perfect segue. This is no different than Western culture with high heels, but specifically Japan, which forces high heels in the workplace,
Yeah.
as well as no different from Victoria, London with corsets, with the thin waist but thick hips.
One of them bitches took out a rib,
Yeah,
a
man.
couple ribs.
Yeah, to make your joint pop, make everything pop. I ain't gonna lie, I
See-
like a corset.
Being flat-footed and wearing heels is painful
But you,
after a certain amount of hours. But I love wearing heels.
But technically speaking, heels are no more healthier than lotus shoes. They just affect different parts of a woman's body. Instead of affecting your hips and your lower back, they affect your leg structure and specifically your knees.
And they shift your ovaries forward too.
Yep.
There's a whole. Actually, they do it. It does a lot. Actually, it really does a lot. It's
Because it's unnatural.
I never knew that.
if you're gonna wear high heels as like a woman, you have to have a strong core and a strong entire structure. You know
And
what I'm
don't
saying?
or you'll be
So that you can
uncomfortable, yep.
stand
And you have to have
on it.
somewhat of an arch in your
Otherwise-
foot so you don't feel that shit going up your back and your legs and your knees. Like
You'll
once you
fold.
take them, when I take my heels off, because I wear sneakers and I already don't have an arch, and that's just me. But sometimes I can run, jump, hop, skip in heels. But when I wear heels and I take them off at the end of the night, it feels like I'm standing on needles, like in the arch of my foot. That shit hurts so bad, like spikes in my feet. It's so like when I did track and shit. That's how it feels.
Did you say your heel, by the way? Oh.
No, the arch of my
I
foot.
don't think any woman likes the way. Most women like the fact that it makes them taller, and they like the way it makes them look because it gives them like
Yeah.
this sleek look. It makes their legs look longer.
But this is going back to the Asian foot binding. It might give you sexier results in the short term, but long term benefits there are none. For example, interesting stat: which kind of woman is most likely to tear her Achilles? In terms of on average probability type of thing.
A woman who doesn't wear heels and decided to wear them, or a woman who wears heels all the time.
Well, the first group of women are athletes, just because they're using them the most.
I was about to say athletes.
The second group
But
are businesswomen, specifically who are known for wearing heels 5 days a week.
Yeah, my mom has calluses from wearing heels. Whether it was, never mind, her profession or like her career.
I think heels, technically speaking, would be foot binding. I think if you would actually ask one of those women who
Definitely.
walk around on a regular basis
With
who wear
heels?
and
Look at their
their
feet.
feet, they're
Specific-
probably arched
Specifically,
as
if they're
fuck.
made
Or
into a
their
triangle
toes
up
are like
front.
closer
Yeah,
together.
they do that. Yeah, because they're
They're
in that.
made into a triangle up front.
Even
yeah.
some men. I'm sorry, some men who wear pointy shoes in
Yeah,
the
if you wear
workplace or
pointy shoes.
church. The churchgoers and shit.
Preach.
Like that. Yeah.
Fuck shoes. Fuck shoes.
I wear loafers.
I don't like to walk around barefoot, but I don't like to feel like I don't like to tie my shoes. I don't like to.
I'll be that dude at the wedding rocking some fucking
And
bare
that's-
feet shoes with my suit, and
And
I don't
that's
give
okay.
a fuck.
That is perfectly okay.
I'm throwing some loafers on.
The worst thing to ever happen to American society is that we came from the British business perspective. The Brits, you gotta have that nice hat, that suit. Which, if you could rock a suit and you embrace that suit, I respect you. But the moment you go to those fucking thick ass shoes, I'm good, homie. Interesting facts. Technically speaking, Asian foot binding did not end until 1999, and it was as popular dating back until the mid 1900s. The peak for Chinese women was 50% for the entire country. And for the social elite women, it's supposedly as high as 100%. And I just want to end on this quote by Amanda Foreman. She said, "The truth, no matter how unpalatable, is that foot binding was experienced, perpetuated, and administered by the women of China."
Okay.
Which, when you think about it, it's no different than the fashion trends taking place in Western culture nowadays.
Like our eyelashes.
Or makeup.
I'm not a makeup fan.
Or those eyelashes, those stupid eyelashes.
I hate them shits.
We don't
Lashes
we
by
can't stand
Sador
those
Health,
eyelashes.
Keto lashes, $150.
They don't even care. They don't care.
Ultra
They're gonna wear
You said
that.
volume
$150?
extensions.
You said $150?
You know what I could do with that?
About her lashes. They just go into
You
another
said
place. They don't care.
$150?
Just talking about her lashes.
If you want to subscribe, just hit this bad boy up here, that big fat rhino. If you want the newest video, to the right. If you want the recommended, to the left. And then, of course, our personal dick pic. Yep, right below. So thank you for joining us once again, and we hope to see you next week. So peace out.
Peace.